Good morning, students. Welcome to Blue Star High Secondary School, Class 6th, Subject English, Topic Tansen Supplementary Reader. Let's move on to the meanings. Downcast, depressed, imitate, copy the speech, actions, dress, etc. Roaring, enormous, flame, fire, perspiration, transpiration. Students, you should read the meanings. About the lesson, that means let's move on to the introduction part. About the lesson means introduction part. Tinson was the only child of his parents. He was naughty but talented. He imitates the calls of birds and animals perfectly. Tenson was favorite of King Akbar, to which other countries were jealous of him. They were ready to pay any money to move him for their way, but do you too? Tansin's presence of mind and intelligence, he saved himself. This lesson was say about Tansin was the only child of his parents. Okay, he was the only one child of his parents. He was naughty but talented. He was naughty boy, but he was very talented. Then he imitated calls of birds and animals perfectly. King Akbar's favorite is Tansins, which other countries was. Students, listen carefully. Before starting the class, I'll ask questions. Okay, students, what do you see in this picture? Yes, one tree and beautiful birds. Students, where we can able to see birds and trees. In birds we can able to see in trees, parks, etc. In trees, in outside of a garden, like that we can able to see trees and birds. Students, tell me one thing. Do you all like birds? Do you all hear bird sounds? Yes, we can hear birds sounds. Students, are you interested in music? Yes, some people interested in musics. We like music also. Which type of music we like? Some people will like melody music and some people will like classical music. Do you like classical music? Yes, we like classical music. Name a few Indian musicians. Yes, Ravi Shankar and A.R. Rahman, Ilayaraja. These are all Indian musicians, famous Indian musicians also. Students, you may have heard the name of Tansin. Yes, he is a Indian musician. Okay, students, let's move on to the lesson Tansin. Today we are going to read about a great musician of India. He is a Tansin. Yes, he is a great musician. Today we are going to saw a new story, Tansin, a supplementary reader. Let's move on to. You may have heard the name of Tansin, the greatest musician in our country. The name of Tansin, the greatest musician our country has produced. A singer called Mukundan Mizera as his wife lived in Bachat near. Tansen was the only child. It said that he was naughty child. Often he ran away, play in the forest, and soon learned to imitate perfectly the calls of birds and animals. Then a famous singer named Swami Haridas was once traveling through the forest with his disciplines. Tired, the group settled down to rest in a shady grove. Tansin saw them. He behind a tree and roared like a tiger. The little group settled down to rest in a shady grove. Tansin saw them. He behind a tree and roared like a tiger. The little group of travelers scared in fear, but Swami Haridas called them together. Don't be afraid. Tigers are not always dangerous. Looks, let's look for this one. There is no tiger here, only one naughty boy. At last, see Swami Haridas and the group and his group was see a dancing a little boy, and he thought that there is no tiger here, only one small boy. Then Swami Haridas did not punish him. Instead, he went to dancing father. And your son is very naughty. He is also very talented. I think I can make him a good singer. Tansin was 10 years old when he went away with Swami Haridas. He lived with him for 11 years, learning music and became a great singer. Swami Haridas did not punish Tansin. Tansin went to him. He lived with him for 11 years and he learned a good music. He became a popular singer also. Oh, and he went away from Swami Haridas. Tansin was 10 years old when he went away with Swami Haridas. He lived with him 11 years. How many years? 11 years. In this slide was says about Nodley dancing. Was 10 years old. He went with Swami Haridas. Swami Haridas, first of all, he did not punish him. Instead, he went to dancing's father. Is At about this time, his parents died. Mukunda Misera dying wise boy was Tansen should visit Muhammad Kayas of Gilwar. Yeah, he went Swami Haridas. He went for Swami Haridas because he want to learn music and he became a good singer. That time, and whose father was died? Tansen fathers and mothers was died. Then, and while living with Muhammad Gurwas, dancing was often taken. While living Gulbar with Muhammad Kayas, dancing was often taken to the court. Rani, who was a great musician herself, that he meet arrived one of the ladies of the court. Her name was Hasni. Dancing was five children who were all very musical. In this slide was says about while living a museum, Muhammad Gulwad, dancing was often taken to the court of a. After he was taken to the court who was a great musician. In future, Tansin was a great musician, but her father was died. Yes, he was died, but he was a great musician. Then he got married and he have five children. All are very musical, very musician or are good singers also. Then and he was a great singer because of Swami Haridas. So, yes, he was a great singer because of Swami Haridas. So, Mugundan Misari has been devoted to the Swami Haridas, who living with Muhammad Giwat stands often take to the court of Rani, who was a great musician herself. She was a great musician herself. First dancing, you will see one young and little boy, naughty boy. His work, he in childhood work, he was imitate in birds, animals, and finally he meets Swami Haridas and he learned a musical. At last he was famous musician because of Swami Haridas. He went he went dancing was went Swami Haridas for 11 years. He spent with him. He learned a good music and good things also. That time, that period, Dancing's parents was died. At the same time, Tansin had by this time became very famous. Sometimes he sang before Emperor Akbar. Akbar was impressed by him that he instead Tansin should join his court. Tansin went to Akbar's court in 1556 and some became a great favorite of Emperor. Akbar would call upon Tansin to sing at any time. Dancing to sing at any time during the day or night. Quite often he would just walk into Tansin's house to hear him practice. He also gave him master presents. Naturally, some of the courtiers became jealous. One of the countries, Shagundan had a bright idea. We shall never be able to rest till Tansin is reunited. Let us make him sing Raga Deepak. How will that help us? If Raga Deepak is probably sung, it makes the air so hot that singer is burnt due to his access. Tansen is a very good singer. If he if he sings Raga Deepak, he'll die and we will important to her this. Tansen went home. He had never been more downcast and unhappy. I can sing the raga, but the heat it gives off will not only set that lamps alight, it will also burn me to ashes. But then he had an idea. If someone sings Raga Megha at the same time and sings it properly, it will bring rain. Perhaps our daughter Saraswati and her friend Rupavati could do it. Yes, If someone sings a song, a rain will come. First of all, Tansen went home. He had never been more downcast and unhappy. Yes, he was never more downcast and unhappy. And here, daughter Saraswati and his friend Rupavati could do it. See this one, he teach the two girls to sing Raga Megha. They practiced day and night for 2 weeks. You must wait till the lamps start burning and then you start singing. First, Tansen was teach his daughter Saraswati and her friend Rupavati to sing a song on a Raga Megha, the practice day and night for 2 weeks, and they wait to watch the legends goes on the appointment to hear Tansen sing Raga Deepak. When he began to sing, the air became warm soon. People in the audience were bathed in perspiration. Perspiration means transpiration, okay? The leaves on the trees dried up and fell to the ground. As the music continued, birds fell dead because of heat, and the water in the rivers began to boil. People will cried out in the terror as flames shut up out of nowhere and lighted the lamps. Yes, people was a terror and flames shouted out. Okay, they were seriously they shouted out. Then at once Saraswati and Rupavati began to sing the song. The sky could will the sky could clouded and the rain came down. Tansen was saved that time. The Tansen was saved. The song goes that he was very ill after this, and Akbar was sorry that he had caused him and so much suffering. He also punished Tansen enemies. Yes, the king was also punished Tansen enemies. The story, first of all, the story goes is that he was very ill. After this, the Akbar was very strong that that he had caused him because as that he was very ill after this, and Akbar was very sorry that he had caused him so much suffering. He also punished Tansen enemies. Yes, he also punished Tansen enemies. Yes, because he was wrong. Then, when Tansen got well, the entire city rejoined. The Tansen was very well. Then the entire city was rejoined. This story was mainly says about Tansen. He was a naughty boy. Then his song was very famous. He was a famous singer because of Swami. He was of Swami Haridas. A singer called Mugunda Misara and his wife lived in Bihar near this place. Tansen was her only child. It said he was a naughty child. At the age, he was very naughty child, and he ran away to play the forest side, and soon learned to imitate perfectly the calls of birds and animals. Yes, he was imitate birds and at the end, and Tansen remained Akbar court signer till 1585. When he died, he composed several new rags. His tomb is and it place of pilgrimage of musician. He was a famous pilgrims of musician. What he was a famous pilgrim of musician. Then so a shortly says about a story is Tansin was their only child. It said that he was a naughty child. He ran away to play in the forest and soon to imitate perfectly the calls of birds, animals. Then a famous singer named that time he meet one legend. He also famous singer. A singer named Swami Haridas was once travelled through the forest with this disciplines. Tried the group settled down to rest in shady grove. Tansen saw them, strangers in the forest. He said to himself, "It will be fun to fritter them." He did behind the trees and he bore Swami Haridas and here groups thinks that a tiger in the forest. All of them afraid. Swami Haridas only said, and Swami Haridas called them together. "Don't be afraid," he said. "Tigers are not always dangerous. Let us look for this one." Suddenly, one of his men saw a small boy. One man can saw a small boy behind a tree. "There are no tigers here, master," he said. "Only this naughty boy." Tansen learned music from Swami Haridas for 11 years. He was 11 years. He learned a good music. He stayed with the holy man. He was a holy man. Muhammad Kayas. He married. I married a lady. He also musician. One of the ladies in the court of Rani. Swami Haridas did not punish him. He went Tansen's father and said, "Your son is very naughty and he also very talented. I think I can make him a good singer." Swami Haridas said he can make him a good singer. Tansen was 10 years old. That time he was 10 years old. But he went away from Swami Haridas. He lived with him He lived with him for 11 years, learning music and became a great singer. At about this time, his parents died. That during period his parents were died. Mukundan Visera dying was the attention should visit his place, and he was a long had been devoted to him, and after visited him while living to this guy's Danson was often taken to the court of Rani, who was a great musician herself. That there he met and married one of the ladies of the court. Then he was called meet and married one of the ladies of this court. Her name was Hasni. Hasni also became a Swami Haridas disciple. Tansen and had 5 children who were all very musical. He was 5 children who were all musical. Tansen became a favorite in Akbar's court. Once he was asked to sing in Raga Deepak. Tansen asked his daughter and her friend to sing in Raga Maha. After Raga Deepak to counteract the effect of the later, Tansen went to Akbar's court in 1556 and soon became a great favorite of the empire. Akbar would call upon Tansen to sing at any any time during the day or night. Quite often he wanted to see his seas became a practice, and he also gave him many presents. Some of the countries became jealous of Tansen, and Tansen's daughter Saraswati and her friend Rupavati. Tansen teach the two girls to sing Raga Mega the practice day and night for 2 weeks. You must wait till the lamp starts burning and then you start singing. Okay, they start singing. Of course, he can sing it. Tansen can sing anything, Akbar said. Tansen was afraid but could not disobey the king. Very well, my lord. Tansen was said. Very well, my lord. Very well, my lord, he said. But give me time to prepare myself. Tansen went home. He had never been more downcast and unhappy. I can sing the raga, he told his wife, but the heat it gives off will not only set the lamps alight, it will also burn me as a ashes. Yes. Then both ragas were sung according to plan. Akbar punished Tan. At last Akbar was punished. At Tansan enemies. Yeah, he was punished the Tansan enemies. In the legends goes that one the appointed day whole town assembled to hear Tansen sing a Ragadip. When he began to sing, the air became warm. He began to sing, the air became most warm. Soon people in the audience were bathed in perspiration. A perspiration means a transpiration, and then the leaves on the trees dried up and fell to the ground. As the music continued, birds fell dead because of the heat, and the water in the rivers began to boil. People cried out in the terror as flames shout up out of nowhere and lighted up the lamps. Yes, Tansen remained Akbar's court singer till 1585. His dancer died in 1585. When he died, he composed several new ragas. Yes, when he composed new ragas. His tomb is in his place of pilgrimage of musicians. Yes, the sky at last time at once Saraswati and Rubavati began to sing Raga Mega. The sky clouded over and the rain came down. Tansen was saved. The story goes that he was very ill after this, and Akbar was sorry that he had caused him so much suffering. He punished Tansen enemies. When Tansen got well, he got well. Then he became a famous singer also. Both ragas were sung according to the plan. Tansen teach the two girls to sing Raga Mega. They practiced day and night for 2 weeks. Tansen told them, "You must wait till the lamps start burning, then you start singing." At first, Tansen had an idea. If someone sings Raga Mega, at that same time sings it properly, it will bring rain. Perhaps he planned his daughter Saraswati. His daughter name is Saraswati. Okay, at last the rain will come. Okay, students. I hope you all understand this lesson. Let's move on to the assignment part. Read the story Tansin. Okay, student. Let's move on to the class. Student, take your English classwork note. Write Unit 5 Supplementary Dancing. First one is mind map. You should write like this. After finishing mind map, draw a double line. Tansin was the one and only child of his children. Once he tried to frighten a group of travelers by roaring like a tick. He was naughty but talented. He imitated the calls of birds and animals perfectly. Then match the following: downcast, depressed, imitate, copy the speech, action, dress, etc. Roaring, enormous, flame, fire, perspiration, transpiration. After finishing one, draw one line. Choose the correct answer. Tansin learned, and the answer is to imitate perfectly the calls. Tansin became a good singer after 11 years old. Is the answer. Muhammad Gayas was a holy man. This answer is holy man. So, holy man. And Raga Megha was sung by Saraswati and Rupati. The answer is Saraswati and Rupati. Next page. Tansin went to Akbar's court 1556. After this one, draw a one line. Next, jumble the sentence. Tansin, a favorite, became in court Akbar. The answer is Tansin became a favorite in Akbar court. Let us make him sing Raga Deepak. Let us make him sing Raga Deepak. It is a pilgrim's place of musician. It is a place of pilgrimage for musicians. Fourth one is the naughty practiced and day 2 weeks. They practiced night and day for 2 weeks. The answer is the Akbar. Fifth one is the Akbar Tansin's punished enemies. Akbar punished Tansin enemies. After this is draw a double line. Okay, students, you should write neatly and clearly. Thank you, students. Based on this video, we attached one PDF. You just watch it.